No, she shouldn't be replaced. If Barrett is confirmed and Democrats win back the Senate, would you vote to expand the number of justices on the Supreme Court if it came up for a vote? Is that something you'd be in favor of?
Well, Jake, like Joe Biden, I'm not a fan of expanding the court, but we have a few weeks here to see whether there are 4 Republicans who will step back from this precipice. It is President Trump who has pressed for this nominee so he can have a key vote to overturn the Affordable Care Act in the middle of a pandemic. It is the Republican majority that's responsible for racing forward with this extreme, unqualified nominee, unqualified because of her extreme judicial philosophy. And that's who should be bearing the brunt at the ballot box in this election, that they're doing this to get someone on the court just in time, a week after the election, to take away critical health care protections from a majority of Americans. We need to focus on that.
So you oppose.
And then if we happen to be in the fact pattern where we have a President Biden, we'll have to look at what the right steps are to rebalance our federal judiciary.
So your mind is open about adding justices to the Supreme Court? Yes or no? Just your mind is open?
Yes.
Your mind's open. Okay. Let's talk about.
I was ready for him to be like, no, because we're losers, and he at least said yes. So, if whether you're gonna do it or not, the threat, you have to have the threat. That's the whole point of politics. That's the whole point of negotiations. Is you have to make them scared. If you submit, if you quit before even getting any concessions, then you're gonna lose. You have to at least threaten it, because then now it makes them think twice.
And that's why Ted Cruz is already threatening to introduce an constitutional amendment to limit the court size to 9.
Yeah, you hear just like, oh, it's very clear. And all of a sudden, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if some Democrats actually like support that. But the thing is, like, Democrats, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I always call them losers, and I will always call them losers, because Mitch McConnell, even if you had the minority, he will be in there and he will be like, you will regret this for the rest of your life. And if you do this, I guarantee you will be back in the court. And if they could tell that, but all the Democrats is, we have a plan. We have a plan. What is the plan? The hearing happened, and then homegirl goes and give him a hug and be like,
oh my God. Like, I can't wait for her to just disappear.
Like, they are losers, man. Like, it's
Dianne Feinstein
mentality. Yeah. Like, so the Republicans know this, right? The Republicans, they are a bunch of bullies, and they know that they're going to continue to bully these people around, and they're going to get away with it. And they have shown that for the past, forever. They have shown that they could get away with everything. The minute that Biden wins, all of a sudden, we're going to go, the debt is too high. We can't do Supreme Court justice anymore. Like, it's everything that the Republicans just did the last 4 years. The minute November 4th, forget it. Everything is like, oh, we need to go back.
I bet you they're going to put back in place the filibuster. After Mitch McConnell took it away so that he could push through whatever he wanted, they're going to say, oh, let's go back to the norms and put back the filibuster.
We need to be bipartisan. We need to work across the aisle.
But real quick, if you remember Ted Cruz, when it looked like Hillary Clinton was going to win at that time, everybody thought that Hillary Clinton was going to win. Even Ted Cruz and I believe another Republicans were talking about how they're going to continue to hold the Merrick Garland seat open for the whole 4 years of Hillary Clinton.
They said.
Yeah. Go ahead, Carlito.
And they would have gotten away with it.
Yeah, no, what I was going to say is that, we have a facade of two parties, because in reality, a lot of the things that Republicans want, Democrats want also, because they're paid off by the same people. They have the same owners. A lot of the Goldman Sachs and all the Wall Street people, a lot of the energy industry, the pharmaceuticals, the defense contractors, they give money to both parties a lot of times. They give more to whoever happens to be in power at the time, but they love both of them. And, they put this front that they want to protect us and they're going to fight against them. But in reality, they really are for the same things. So at the end of the day, that's why when they do come into power, they feign being meek, because in reality, they don't want to pass anything, and they just want excuses not to pass those things.
But let me ask you this. So do you think that if the Democrats win the Senate and the seat, they still going to keep Chuck and Nancy as the leader?
Yes.
Yeah, they will. Oh. They will.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so too. I was just wanting to see,
because it's a double-edged sword. Because what happens is when they lose, is no. But don't remember the one time where we had a big Senate and House majority, we're gonna fight to get us back to that. And then all these years, then they're gonna get back and they're gonna be like, okay, so now we did it again, keep us here. But is all they care about is power more than anything.
So that's where we come in as the progressive movement on the outside, right? So my question is, we heard about the letter that AOC and the other progressives sent to Biden, or matter of fact, I heard that it wasn't even sent to Biden. It was addressed to Mitch McConnell, but it was like signaled to Biden not to have corporate executives in his cabinet. One thing that I heard, I think it was Rising, they said that this might be a precursor to AOC running for Chuck Schumer's seat. So that would be an interesting way to pressure him if he does become the majority leader again. And then for Nancy Pelosi, I think we need to start discussing and strategizing how we can either get her out of being the House Speaker again, or at least put enough pressure so that if she is the House Speaker again, she wouldn't want to put PAYGO, in there, or more conservatives kind of
Nancy
rules.
don't care, man.
But that's what I was going to say. You got to have, the only way to do this is to have more progressives elected to force their hand. And you need a version of the Tea Party without the crazy that is just going to say no and just, don't vote for things and hold them back and whatever. And, you give us something. You want our vote, give us something.
The good thing about Trump, right? It looked like there might be a massive blue wave, potentially. Cross our fingers, knock on wood. There's going to be a potential massive blue wave. And if a lot of progressives who are in red states or in red seats, if they flip them blue and now you have progressives in those seats, I think we can potentially have I think we need a good 20 people who can come together in a caucus. You think that would be good?
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword, because what happens is the bigger the wave, the worse it is, because that's going to be the confirmation of Biden's
that's the messaging
mandate for moderatism.
Yeah. That's it depends on how you message.
We got such a massive wave, not because of Trump, but because people love my plan.
Yeah.
That's going to be what the narrative is going to be.
We'll
I think it depends on how the
mainstream...
mainstream...
push. That's what they're going to push.
Yeah.
But we got to push back. Because we got it wasn't that everybody loves centrism. It's that we hated Trump so much, we're willing to vote for your stupid behind.
I think, and I think too, and I always said, one knock on AOC was that, AOC came in as a freshman congressman, and she's like, we're doing this and this. And then Nancy was like, stop, you can't. And then she just stopped. But I think, Cori Bush, she just doesn't. From what I think, she's going in, and I think she's going to go at them. I think she's going to just lay low and try to play politics like AOC did. But I think definitely they could put some pressure on Nancy, and maybe now that AOC may have a little bit more progressive in there, she will put a little bit more pressure. But to your letter, it doesn't matter. You send the letter after you say, I'm already going to vote for them. So she said why. It's the same reason Gabe is voting for her.
Yeah, so I think that,
but at least, but she gave her both. She could at least send that letter before and be like, at least give me something, and or tell Bernie, hey, I'm going to support you and I'm going to lay low, and here is, at least we don't want no corporate lobbyists or something in our administration or something. Not we're going to be in a task force. So that's what I mean. They could have put that letter or something together and put back in March.
Same thing with Bernie. I respond no on the surveys when they ask me, are you voting for the Democrats and Biden? I lie. I'd be like, nope, I'm not voting for them, just so that they could get one more no vote, so they could hopefully see something wrong and try to come more my way. Yeah, I'm going to vote for them, but they don't need to know that. You have to pressure them somehow. And it's the same thing with the progressives. Just hold out for a little bit. AOC back in the primary before Biden was even, we're talking pre-Super Tuesday, was already I'm going to vote for the Democratic nominee no matter who it is. And once you say that, you lose whatever power. You got to be like, no, hopefully it's a progressive, because I can't guarantee that I'm going to vote for, or I'm going to support another corporatist. Bro, they will forget it.
So to your point about the message, I want to make a point about the messaging that you talked about before, about how the Biden campaign, they're going to say, we got a mandate not because Trump is so bad, but because centrist is the way to go. And it really depends on how the mainstream media is going to spin it. If they spin it that way, I hope even regular people know it's BS. Because come on, we know Trump is the guy, right? So, and you're absolutely right, John, because something I've been seeing a lot recently in the mainstream media that I'm just flabbergasted by. Last week, it's been talk about how Barack Obama is going to be joining the campaign. So I keep seeing that headline. Oh, Barack Obama is about to join the campaign and about to help Joe Biden, right? But this is my thing, and I've even heard people comment on it like, oh yeah, he's going to bring out a lot of people and he's going to bring a lot of votes. My thing is, he did that in 2016. He came out just like that for Hillary Clinton and she lost. So Barack Obama, he could only help get himself elected. When it comes to other Democrats, he does not help at all.
Because
outside of the Black African American community and some Latinos, Barack Obama, a lot of people that see through it, like we saw it, we talked about this, right? We voted for the guy, we thought so high for the guy, and after we looked at all the policies and things that he did, he really didn't do it. So there's a lot of people that don't like him.
Yeah.
And what is over, like we already talked about, 30 million people already voted. So what is over back? We're going to say, oh, Barack Obama hit the trail and now he brought more people. Like, no, people are out there and they voting for the reason that everybody is trying to get Trump. But we always see there's not going to be a bigger loser in this election than the progressive movement, because it doesn't matter. Like if Trump wins, they're going to blame the progressives. If Biden wins, they're going to be like, well, we don't need the progressive movement to win. Look to win. Look how landslide. So we screw either way. What it's going to do is, 2022, 2024, like what is really going, that's what's going to determine, like, is Nina coming? Is the People's Party really going to form? Well, what big politician may come and run under the People Party? Like, those are the things that we got to see. Like, is AOC, this may be a dream. Like, is AOC going to run against Chuck as a People's Party representative? That would be huge.
All right, so I'm going to end the note on this. Ranked choice voting, baby. rankthevote.us/states. And this is a website that I just found out because I joined my New Jersey version of organization trying to get ranked choice voting. And it's called Voters Choice NJ. And I didn't even know about this site. This is why it's good to join organizations locally, because they tell you about these sites that you can't even find anywhere else. And this is a website where for your state, you can join the local organization. See, here's my right here, Voter Choice NJ. Join them and bring ranked choice voting to a state near you so that you can, I'm jealous of Maine, guys. They get to vote for presidential candidate. They could put the Green Party. They could then put the Libertarian Party. They could then put Socialist and Liberation Party or whoever else is on there. And then they put the Democrat if they want to. So we need to bring this. I know last week we talked with Joel and he said he don't think Florida is going to get it. But there's a Florida organization here. So get involved. Everyone who can hear this, get involved. All right, everybody. That's another episode of Political Junkies. Much love to all the people. Thank you, Carlito. Thank you, Gabe. Thank you, John, for coming out. And I hope you all enjoyed it. Peace.
Vote quick, vote early, vote in person, put your mask on, put your gloves on, put your face shield, vote in person because they're trying to take it and they're going to try to cancel the mail-in ballots. So vote in person, vote early, be safe.
Yes.